Sai Ram students, welcome to the second session of chapter 9, that is heat. So before starting today's session children, let's revise what we had learnt in the first session. So children, in the first session we had taken various examples of heat and then we saw about the transfer of heat. So what was transfer of heat? Whenever a hot object it is brought near a cold one, what happens? The hot object it becomes cold and the cold object it becomes warm. So the transfer of heat it takes place from a hot body to a cold body, and this transfer of heat means flow of heat from one place to another. Then we saw children about the modes of heat transfer. There are three modes of heat transfer. First is conduction, second is convection, and third is radiation. So in the last session we saw only two modes of heat transfer. First was conduction and second was convection. So in conduction we saw an experiment from which we concluded that the transfer of heat it takes place from a hot body to a cold body, and that is called as conduction of heat, right? So we had taken the example of the aluminium bar, copper bar and a stainless steel bar. So what we saw in that, the heat conduction of heat it takes place quickly through copper, and after that aluminium, and lastly the stainless steel. And for conduction of heat it takes place through a solid substance and it requires a medium, right? Now after that we saw children about the convection. So in convection what we saw, that we had taken some water and we had added the crystals of potassium permanganate into it, and we saw the streams of the water, they were going upwards and coming back at the bottom, right? So and what we saw, that this transfer of heat it takes place through the currents, right? And these are called as convection currents, and this whole process is called as convection of heat. Now convection it takes place through liquid and gaseous state, and convection also requires a medium, right? So today we are going to see the next mode of heat transfer, that is the radiation. Now you can see here children, here also we are going to discuss about the experiment. Now this is your burner, right? This is your test tube holder, this is a test tube, and you can see a piece of ice, it is wrapped in a wire gauze, and in this test tube water has been taken. So let's discuss about this experiment. So what is being done in this experiment? You are going to take a test tube, and in the test tube you are going to add water, right? After adding water you are going to take a piece of ice which is wrapped in wire gauze, and you are going to drop this piece of ice which is wrapped in wire gauze in this test tube containing water. Then you are going to on the burner, and with the help of a test tube holder you are going to hold this tube in the slanting position. Can you see in the figure how it has been how it is being heated in the slanting position? So now you will heat the test tube till the water inside the test tube starts boiling. So once the water it starts boiling, you will off the burner, right? And then you will observe what happens. You will see that the heat it has not reached the bottom of this wire gauze, right? Even though the upper part, this part is heated, but still the heat it has not reached the bottom part, right? Now you all know that when the density of the water it decreases when after heating, right? In convection also we had seen yesterday that the density of the water it decreases after heating, right? So therefore it cannot sink, and therefore the convection process it cannot occur. So right children, So let's see in detail. The heat, it does not reach the bottom even though the upper part is heated, and the density of the water, it decreases due to heating. Therefore, it cannot sink, and the process of convection, it does not occur. So now let's see the next one. So you can see over here, children, the campfire is there and a person's hand is there. So you can see the heat, it is directly getting transferred from this campfire to the hands, right? So what you can do, you can take a candle, light it and keep it in the upright position, and then you can hold your hands on the two sides of the candle, lit on the two sides of the candle, lit at a distance away, right? And after some time you can bring your hands closer near the candle. So what do you observe? As you bring the hands closer to the candle, you will feel more heat, right? So have you ever experienced, children, in a bonfire, this experience of heat? And you all know that the sun, it is millions of kilometers away from us, right? So but still the sun rays, it reaches us, isn't it? So you can see that there is no air between the sun and the earth, and the earth's atmosphere, it has got a thin layer of air close to the earth, but still the heat of the sun, it reaches us. Now this heat, it is transferred to us without any medium. So this transfer of heat without any medium, transfer of heat which takes place without any medium, is called as radiation. So let's see. The sun, it is millions of kilometers away from us, right? There is no air between the sun and the earth, and the earth's atmosphere, it is only a thin layer of air closer to the earth. So this heat, it is transferred to us in the absence of any medium. That means no medium is there. Like I had told you, for conduction and convection, we require a medium, right? For conduction, you require a solid substance. For convection, you require a liquid and gaseous substance. For radiation, like that, you don't require any medium. So this transfer of heat which takes place without a medium is called as radiation. So conduction and convection, it requires a medium, and radiation, it does not require a medium, right, children? So now when the heat rays, they fall on an object, a part of the heat is absorbed by the object and part of it is reflected. So the ability of a substance to absorb the heat radiation, it depends on its color and also its intrinsic properties, right? So whenever the heat rays, they fall on an object, what happens? Part of the heat, it is absorbed by the object, and part of the heat, it is reflected. So the ability of a substance to absorb the heat radiation, it depends upon its color as well as its intrinsic properties. Intrinsic properties means these properties are naturally in that substance, right? By nature only, it has got those properties inside it. So let's move to the next one. First we'll discuss about an experiment, right? So what you are going to do, you are going to take two aluminium tins, two glasses, water and a thermometer and a black color paint. Now what you are going to do, you are going to take one aluminium tin and you are going to paint it with the black color. Once you paint it, you are going to dry it. So once it is dried, so one aluminium tin is painted with black and one aluminium tin, it is as per the original color, right? So now what you are going to do, you are going to place two glasses in this tin. In one tin there will be one glass, and in the another tin there will be another glass, right? And then you will pour water into this glass, and after that you will close it with a lid and you will keep it in the sun for around 2 hours. So after 2 hours, what you are going to do, you are going to take the thermometer and you are going to measure the temperature in both the tins. So what will you see? the temperature of the tin which is painted with black color is more, right, than of the normal aluminium tin. So why the temperature of the aluminium tin which is painted with black color is more? Because the black color, it absorbs more heat, right? So that's why the temperature increases, right? So now let's move to good and bad conductors of heat. Now here also what you are going to do, you are going to take some substances like a pencil, a plastic ruler, a divider which is there in your compass box, a copper strip or a rod, and a steel spoon. All this you are going to place it in a beaker, and now you are going to pour hot water which is around 60 to 70 degrees centigrade into this beaker, and then after a while you will just see the outer part of the object, right, whether it is hot or cold. So with this you can record your observations, right? So there are some substances which are good conductors of heat, while there are some substances which are bad conductors of heat. So as we had already discussed, that heat is conducted quickly through copper strip or pot. Conducted quickly means heating takes place quickly through copper strip or pot, but it does not take place through plastic or wood. So plastic and wood, they are bad conductors of heat, and copper strip, it is a good conductor of heat. So there are some substances which are good conductors of heat and some substances which are bad conductors of heat. So copper strip, it is through copper strip heat is conducted quickly, but not through plastic or wood. Now children, before going to expansion and contraction, now see, if you take a glass tumbler or a china cup and you pour hot tea into it, right? So you can touch it with your hand, the glass tumbler and the china cup. But same tea, if you pour it in a steel cup or a copper cup, you cannot hold it with your hand, as I told you, because copper and the steel, right, it will become very hot and you cannot touch it with your hand, because heat is conducted quickly through copper, right? So the glass tumbler and the china cup, you can hold it with your hand even though hot tea is poured into it. Now we are going to discuss about the expansion and contraction of a solid substance due to heat. Now here in this experiment you can see children, this is a metal ring, this is a metal ball, right? So what we are going to do in this experiment, you are going to take a metal ring and a metal ball. Now this metal ball which is there, it should be of such a size that it should just be able to pass inside this ring. Now what we are going to do, we are going to take this metal ball on a burner and we are going to heat it for some time. So once you heat it, what will you see? Once you heat this metal ball, what you are going to do, you are going to pass through this metal ring and see. So what happens after heating, the metal ball which is there, it is not able to pass through that metal ring, right? And once you cool this metal ball, you bring it to the room temperature, you can see that it will again pass through the metal ring, right? So this is the metal ball before heating and after heating. So once you heat the metal ball, what will happen? It gets expanded, and that's the reason expanded means it becomes bigger, right? So that's the reason it cannot pass through the metal ring, and then once it comes back to the original position at room temperature, it will again pass through the metal ring because it contracts on cooling, right? Again it will come back to the original position. So the solid substances, they expand on heating and contract on cooling, right? So this was about the expansion and contraction of a solid substance due to heat. One more thing children I would like to discuss. In Rajasthan, most of the houses, they are painted in white color. Now why they are painted with white color? You all know that the temperature in Rajasthan is very high, right? Generally in summer. Right, so what happens, since the temperature is very high, they paint their houses with white color, because white color, it absorbs less heat. So the inside the house, to keep the temperature low, they paint the houses with white color. Right children, so this was what in today's session children. So let's recap what we have learned today. First we saw about the radiation. So we took 2 examples of it, right? So and from that we concluded that radiation, it does not require any medium. So heat is transferred in the absence of any medium, and this transfer of heat without any medium is called as radiation, right? After that we saw children about the that whenever the heat rays, they fall on an object, part of the heat is absorbed by the object and part of the heat is reflected. So the ability of the substance to absorb the heat radiation, it depends upon its color and its intrinsic properties. Then we saw children that if we paint the aluminium tin with black color and keep the water inside that aluminium tin in the sun for 2 hours, what will happen? The temperature of the water will increase, because black color, it absorbs more heat than and the white color, it absorbs less heat. Then we saw children about some good and bad conductors of heat. So there are substances which are good conductors of heat as well as bad conductors of heat, right? And again we saw that heat, it is conducted quickly through copper rather than plastic and wood. Then lastly we saw about the expansion and contraction of a solid substance due to heat. So what happened in this experiment? The metal ball, when we heated it, it expanded and it could not pass through the metal ring, whereas when it came back to the original, when it cooled, it came back to the original position, it could pass inside the metal ring. So from this experiment we can conclude that solids, it expand on heating and contracts on cooling. So this was what in this session children. In the next session we'll see more something more about it, right children? Till then, goodbye.